Bienvenidos a la experiencia cultural del México con Maestro David. Okay, vamos a empezar. All right, students, let's get ready to begin our Mexican culture experience. All right, so let's go through our learning objectives. This is sort of a review lesson. Some of you guys weren't. The last lesson we did on this, we've been working on culture and language and identifying, comparing, and contrasting. Okay, I need a little more out of some of you, and so we're going to do a little review and I'm going to guide you through what I need you to do, okay? And I'm going to help you be successful at this because I know that you can do it, okay? It's muy fácil, muy fácil. All right, so let's read this together. Let's all get ready to get started, all right? So let's look at this. First things first, let me turn this off because some of you are probably going to try to watch that instead of watch what we got going on here. Okay, so let's look at this. We're going to read it together. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, read. Okay, I'm going to follow like this. You read along with me. All right, let's read our content objectives. 1, 2, 3, let's read. Students will identify perspectives of a different culture related to daily life, food, and recreation. All right? Content objective number 2. 1, 2, 3, read. Students will analyze their own culture by comparing and contrasting their own daily life, in particular, favorite foods. Right? So food is something I think we can all understand, right? We look at foods and we make judgments about whether or not we're going to like it or not. We're going to be watching a video a little bit later with some authentic Mexicans in La Ciudad de Mexico who are going to be talking about their cultura. They're going to be talking about their food, what they like. Here's some key vocabulary that we're going to hear in the video that I want you to be listening for, okay? Let's practice it real quick. All right, so I'm going to say it, and then I want you to say it, and I'm going to go like this so I can hear you respond, okay? All right? Me gusta. Museos. Before we go to the next one, I want student number 4 to tell me what a cognate is. We just saw an example of one. See if you can remember and share with the class what a cognate is and why they're important in language learning. Remember, you cannot say, I don't know. You could ask for more time, ask a friend for help, or for more information. Yes, student number 4. Muy bien. Cognates are words that appear to be similar in both languages. So if you look at museos and museum, they really sound similar. It's a cognate, right? They kind of go together. So it's very important when learning another language to pay attention to cognates. And here's another one coming up. Antiguos. Means ancient, okay? La comida. La comida. Food. Here's a verb for us. The lady's going to be asking lots of questions. Preguntar. Preguntar means to ask. Okay, and lugar. Lugar. Lugares is the plural, so places. Okay, so first what I want us to do is I want us to look at some food, and I want you to decide whether or not you're going to like this food. You remember, we're thinking about identifying things that are Mexican culture, and then thinking about, analyzing for ourselves, what do we think about that? Is it like our culture? Is it different from our culture? Okay, we have to have what's called meta-awareness. We have to be aware of our own thinking and how something else might be different. Okay, we kind of have to stand outside of it and kind of critique it. It's called critical thinking. It's very important for you. So we're going to be practicing it with things like food. All right, so Mexican foods. Pozole. All right, student number 2. Why don't you read for us and describe pozole and what your thinking is about pozole. Pozole is a super stew. You think you're not crazy about pozole, huh? It looks very good to me. Although hominy, I'm not crazy about hominy. But the soup, la sopa. Oh, el pollo, the chicken that's in there. Avocado, the aguacate. Oh, muy fresca. It'd be very good. Be a little picante, pica a little, be spicy. Pozole. You're going to hear someone talk about pozole. Okay. Student number 9. I'm going to pull out student number 9. Can you tell us about chilaquiles? Does chilaquiles remind you of anything? Kind of reminds you of nachos, right? It's kind of got that tortilla chips. It's going to have the salsa, some chicken. Okay, good. Who here thinks they like some chilaquiles? Yeah, some chilaquiles wouldn't be too bad, would it? All right, let's look at the next one. Student number 1, explain for us about barbacoa. Ooh, it's a cognate. It's going to be on an asada. Typically, they get like friends and family come over, just like we might do a cookout. We'd say a cookout, right? We're going to be about la barbacoa. They grill it, slice the meat, and they'll have, you know, the grilled meat, the tortillas. They'll put some fresh salsa, some avocado, some lime, cilantro. It's all very fresh. It's all very, very good. I've been invited to quite a few barbacoas, and they're always good. Okay. Enchilada, student number 10. Thank you, student number 10. Yes, you think you would like to eat some enchiladas. Matter of fact, you might order them at a Mexican restaurant that you've gone to before. Okay, good. Okay, guys, so here's the video. Just real quickly, we're not going to watch the whole thing for our purposes here, because it's a 5-minute long video, and that might take a long time. So for the real class, you're going to watch the whole video. You could watch it again when you go to do the work that we're going to do. As a matter of fact, I would like for you to watch it as many times as you're interested in, so you can try to hear those words that we've been listening to, right? Me gusta, museos antiguos, la comida, preguntar en lugar. All right? So let's go. Remember, this is going to be subtitled in English.
Hola amigos, yo soy Mari. Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Easy Spanish. Hoy nos encontramos en el centro histórico de la bellísima Ciudad de México y hoy vamos a preguntarle a la gente qué es lo que más les gusta de México. Acompáñenos.
A lot of times people in the Hispanic cultures, they're often very warm, very friendly, very social. So you're going to see that play out in how people are out in the streets. And she's talking to strangers. You'll notice how they smile when they talk to each other. It's a very friendly culture.
¿Cuál es tu lugar favorito de la Ciudad de México?
Bellas Artes.
Lo mismo, Bellas Artes.
¿Por qué?
Bueno, es el museo, siempre hay cafecitos, siempre hay muchos lugares, hay muchas garnachas, entonces yo creo que es por eso.
Me gusta, por ejemplo, visitar los museos. Me gusta el caminar por las calles, el conocer.
El centro histórico, los lugares antiguos, catedrales, museos.
Mi casa, la verdad, mi casa, mi colonia, la calle donde vivo, que es una calle preciosa, se llama Ámsterdam, es una avenida circular.
¿Cuál es tu platillo típico mexicano favorito?
Comes the food.
Chilaquiles, las enchiladas. Hay muchos platillos, la verdad tenemos una variedad enorme.
Sí.
El pozole, por ejemplo, la barbacoa, la birria.
Ya me dio hambre.
Pues ya, de una vez.
El mole con pollo.
Ay, qué rico. ¿Con arroz rojo?
Arroz rojo.
Ay, qué excelente. ¿Y el suyo?
Los chilaquiles con pollo frito.
Ay, qué rico. ¿Rojos o verdes?
Rojos,
Rojos. ¿Que piquen o que no piquen?
medio picositos.
Muy bien.
He likes them a little spicy, not too much spicy. Okay, so we've finished the video. Okay, hopefully you heard those words. Museos, chilaquiles, barbacoa, lugares, museo. Hopefully you heard all those words in there. The more times you go back and watch it, the more times you'll catch it, okay? You have to train your ear in a new language. All right. So now let's go to the I do, we do, you do part. So here we are. The first thing we're going to do is you're going to go into Seesaw and you're going to see a Venn diagram, okay? You're going to pull up your class on here and you're going to hit add response, okay? If you need the instructions, they're right here for you. If you need to listen to me read you the instructions, you can play them right here.
Use the tools to complete a Venn diagram.
Okay, so if that's what you need, then go right ahead and do that. So up here we've got Mexican culture and my culture. Okay, guys, we're going to have to kind of go quickly because I'm running out of time. Okay, but I'd like to take a little more time. But we all know how to use this. I'm going to use text box. If you're on a tablet, you could use down here and you could write it in. If you need to use pictures, you can take a picture right here. You can put pictures in there, okay, if you'd like to do that. I'm okay with that too. All right, so let's start with, I'm going to put something from the Mexican culture that I remember. They are walking in the streets. A lot of people. I noticed a lot of people out in the streets. And the one gentleman talked about how he liked to kind of just walk around and get to know the city, okay? So I'm going to put they're walking in the streets. I don't know if we do that so much. It depends on where you live. I mean, if you live in the suburbs, not so much. Maybe if you live in a city. Okay, guys, also remember you can change the size of the text right here. All right, so I'm going to put walking in the streets. What about something from my culture that I want to put in here? Something from my culture. That's important. It might be different from the Mexican culture. Let me think here. Walking in the streets. Let's say stay inside. A lot of people in my neighborhood stay inside. Might come out for a little walk, maybe a little chit chat, but we're not really out. Not really out and about so much. Okay, what's something that's similar about the two cultures? Remember this, the middle of the Venn diagram is things that are similar. Love, good, food. Okay, remember we're not having to have full sentences here. We're just having, we're just making lists. Okay, we're organizing our thinking. We're just identifying right now, guys. Remember our first lesson objective. Okay, now let's do some together. Student number 4, can you help me fill in something here? It could be something about your culture, the Mexican culture, different or similar. Okay. Your culture, video games. Love video games. Yes, you do. I know, I have children. They love video games too. Okay. Okay, so you think people in Mexican culture like video games? We don't really know from the video, so let's just go in the video and let's just say your culture, video games. Okay, they didn't talk so much. I didn't hear anybody say anything about video games. All right, student number 1, can you help us out with one? Something that, maybe something else from the video that you noticed that was important to Mexican culture. What do you think? You're not sure? Remember, you don't say, I don't know. Ask a friend. Okay? Ask a friend. Okay? Yes! In the Mexican culture, they seemed friendly. Nobody looked at her really strange asking them questions. You know, that might happen. Maybe in our culture, I don't know. Maybe in yours. Let's just say friendly. Okay, good. All right, guys, so you're going to continue to do this. It was good. We got to move on kind of quickly. We're running out of time here. Yes. All right, so you're going to keep identifying those, okay? The differences, your culture, Mexican culture, and what's similar. I want 5 on this side, 5 on this side, 3 in the middle. You can do this, all right? So let's go on to the next one. When you finish, you know how to hit the green check mark. That will submit it, and I will be able to see it. All right, real quickly, let's go back to our class. Okay. Now, real quickly, this is going to be your speaking and writing practice. All right, remember, I want you to use what? Full sentences. All right, so no Google Translate. Just do your best. We're not here to have perfect Spanish. We're here to learn and improve our Spanish. And the only way we do that is to make mistakes and to learn from our mistakes. So what I have for you here is I have what's called a sentence stem. And this sentence stem says, una cosa que me gusta de mi cultura es. All right, one thing I like about my culture is. So you're going to come down here and you're going to write. You're going to edit the note. You're going to write a whole sentence. Una cosa que me gusta de mi cultura es la comida. Okay, maybe you just want to say, una cosa que me gusta de mi cultura es la comida. Okay, I like the food, right? So you're going to come down here and you're going to do this one. Una cosa de mi cultura cual es diferente a la cultura mexicana es. So we're going to analyze what's different. Una cosa que aprendí de la cultura mexicana es. Something that I learned about, something new from the Mexican culture is. So someone think of another example that we could put here other than la comida. Una cosa que me gusta de mi cultura es. All right, so how about student number 8? Let's think about this together. All right. What do you think we should write? Una cosa que me gusta de mi cultura son los videojuegos. Son los videojuegos. Okay? So video games. That's what you like. Okay? videojuegos. All right, so good. Does everyone understand? This is what I want you to do, to use these supports. And then remember at the end, okay, you do this, click this, and then I want you to go in and record, okay, yourself reading. I want to hear that good pronunciation. Okay, hopefully this wasn't too long, guys. I'm trying to get it within the 15 minutes. So that's the end sort of the lesson. So I just want to give you some feedback of what I was thinking. You know, the instructions, the way I understand it, we're to choose a Texas state standard in the area. The state standard that I chose was basically identifying and comparing things about different cultures, whether it's daily life, food, customs, whatever. So I thought I'd do a Mexican culture experience. Found this great video on YouTube. It's very accessible for students. It's got a lot of support in it. So I guess the idea of the assignment is kind of a follow-up lesson to help reach students who maybe didn't get it the first time, obtain the objectives. So basically what I've done is I've tried to make it very approachable for students of all language levels. I've got lots of supports in it. I've got the visual supports for the vocabulary. I've got the Venn diagram, which is a very, I'm willing to take any level of output depending on whatever the student needs, whether it's IEP, whether it's LEP. They can do short phrases, single words, pictures, depending on whatever their proficiency is. It should be a very approachable way of giving the feedback for me to be able to identify whether or not they're achieving that target of just identifying differences between our culture and their culture, whether it may be pozole, they put pozole on there, maybe they put a picture of a hamburger on their side and pozole on the Spanish side. I mean, that's fine. They're identifying the differences. If they need to just record a verbal response to the Venn diagram in place of doing the writing, that is a way to show me that they can access the comparison and analyzation part of the objective. Because remember, I'm trying to go up the kind of taxonomy or whatever from identify to analyze to make it a little more challenging for them. I'm just kind of taking a shot of, I'm not exactly sure what level we would be doing here with these students. I'm assuming obviously we've been working for a while with our grammar and our vocabulary and our units of study of verbs and conjugation, so they should have a base to be able to respond. So, but nonetheless, with the language, learning a second language using sentence stems and verbal and written responses is really helpful and critical to scaffold their output. I mean, the goal is for this is really to open their perspective, expose them to a new culture, get them thinking about cultural differences, things that they like, maybe things that they don't like, to build that cultural awareness and appreciation for differences, and how those, what the language that they're actually learning, that Spanish is more than just verbs and words and sounds and conjugations, but it's really about a people, it's really about a culture. And so, anyhow, I hope I've addressed sort of what you're looking at. It's hard on a one-way conversation because I would like to have questions about whether or not, if you have questions about what I would do differently, or if I'm sort of on the mark or off the mark of what you're thinking. So anyhow, hopefully you'll follow up, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about my ideas of education and teaching. I look forward to further discussions with you about teaching Spanish online. So hopefully this hasn't gone too long. I tried to keep the time low. So anyway, I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.